just it's a hydraulic, I guess, for lack of another word, but it uses grease. And it's got a threaded dowel that pushes against the front axle. You set the jam nut against it, and then you top it off with grease, and that acts as a little bit of a suspension for when you're getting up against that front axle. So it's good to have at least a couple inches. You can see that it's that. After you run it for 2 or 3 nights, or just keep an eye on it, or you can go 50 hours and then retension it. That's pretty tight, and I think a little track pop and slippage is okay. If you hear a lot with what you guys do with it, you'll want to tension it out, because you're probably not dropping the drag and doing a lot of blade work to clean out a drift or anything, but if you are, then you may hear a little track pop if you're using it to doe snow. I don't know if you guys have to do any of that with drifts, or you just cut off. Take good care of your grease on all of the ball joints and that spherical bearing on the front. I think once a week, probably, if it's going out every night, is a good rule of thumb. Same thing with your grease works on the drag. The service guide should have them all if you're the technician, kind of engineering mind that wants to look at it. They're pretty easy to find, except for there may be, if you get in on the idle arms, there may be some ways to get that some love too. Your vital fluids are all sight glasses. There's 2 hydraulic tanks. So you have a closed system for your drive, and then the oil for this directional valve splits the oil between the front and the back.
Is it different oil?
Drag.
Different
It's
oil?
different oil, yeah.
So is it same color?
Yeah, we recommend ATFF. Had a guy actually saying that it was because it's the way the plates are, they slip if you use synthetics. But I know our engineers, they say after it goes out of warranty, you can use what you want. While it's under warranty, you should stick with the F-type. Should be available on
both sides.
No,
Yeah.
both say hydrostat on here.
Yeah,
I thought one was hydraulic.
yeah. This side your hydraulic.
Yeah, it says hydrostat.
Yeah. I don't know why they think, but it's all part of the hydrostatic system, but they're separate.
So it's all the
loops.
same oil.
Yeah, you can. No, it's not the same oil.
It isn't.
Yeah, this one's separate tanks and filters.
Alright, well, this one over here is full, that one over there seems to be empty.
Well, I put over like 1.5 gallons in it after I filled up the units, because it'll probably take another couple of quarts.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
the hydraulic on that side, but
Yeah.
we're gonna have to relabel that or something, aren't we, guys, or what? I mean, they both say hydrostat on it.
Well, I think if you look at your high pressure hoses are all coming to this tank, your suction line, and you got your big filter there. Then you have a little filter here for the that runs your hydraulic.
We can get a couple small stencils made on it.
Yeah.
Put tranny and hydraulics on it.
You can just put another sticker on there, Donnie.
Get Mill's labeler out.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to maintenance book, just gonna.
Yeah. You have a sight glass for your coolant. Right here. Just by stepping up on the track and raise that, or you can look through. Okay. And your water separator, your batteries are under there. If the batteries die and you need to get the cab tilted, whatever, you have posts out there so you can get to it. It's 12 volt system. Got some relays back here behind that panel. Your fuse box and relays are under your dash inside. I found the best way to get this down, and I'm sure it's not the best way, is I just get on the track, pull it, and step back and shut it. Another, if you guys ever go into a service after, let's say down the road, crack and do the track work, it's good to swap the sprockets. You'll help you wear them even and get your longer life out of your sprockets. We talked about most of the guys that are running these take color zip ties and color code once you get it set. Where all everybody here operators at some point. If you ever have to come in and drop the drag for any reason, it helps put it back so that the next guy behind you doesn't like, wow, what happened? The stiff hitch moved, you know, or whatever. And, just
that shear bolt there, when you shear that bolt, does the tongue come completely out of the drag, or is it stop?
I don't know. That's a good question. I should read Mogul Master's manual, but you got the extra bolts and the manual is right there. We're working on swapping that out with a swivel so that hopefully that doesn't happen. What's Steve? 12 of them. Not 47. Anyway, it's they did one on theirs and converted it. I've been talking to Terry Derby about all the ones that we've delivered that are still on the race that I think we're going to swap them out. I got to talk to my boss about, because we're so far behind with whether we can get somebody to fabricate them. Doesn't take much. He took the I-beam and bought the swivel panel, I think from Amazon or something, and then he just drilled it, welded it up, and then bolted it to that plate right there. Get on that, Mel.
Yeah, that's well.
Yeah, I figured you might have somebody that can weld in this group. You know. All right, so what's next? The engine oil, you saw the cat tilt. I always, you know, even though we like to sell glass, I always come up and make sure I don't have like a bottle or something up in the cup holder and my blade's down. Shut that door, please. Just making sure everything's out of the way and clear, and this is tilt. Got two of them.
That one should have.
So let's see if that'll go up just another notch.
Oh, it didn't work up at the
Adjust the jam.
show either, God.
Yeah, we're gonna get set in.
The goddamn Canadian.
So, the couple of things that you want to keep an eye on is these the panels. If you're getting a lot of vibration running on hard snow or dirt or running across the road, it can vibrate. These panels that pop off to give you access can pop off in the middle. If they come off, you'll rip them off in your in your tracks. So you'll be either fabricating a replacement or buying one.
You have to take that plate, you have to take that whole plate off to get to the filter. Filter's right there.
Yeah, you got the filters
Take that
there. There, with the tracks off and up on stands, you know, getting it up in the air, much easier to get to everything.
How tough are these tracks going to be on the roads?
As long as it's cold, that would be fine. If you get a warmer morning, you could start scratching them up pretty good, and then obviously in the summer it would rip them up.
They're gonna hurt the track itself.
It won't hurt the track.
Just worried about road damage.
The county might
Is
like
that a
it, 'cause that was
Caterpillar
a lot,
motor?
eh?
Yeah. It was. It was a Perkins. Until Perkins was bought by Cat.
Okay.
They had some, I never heard of that one.
Did you ask him about that? Did you ask him about that fan yet?
He didn't think that it had a reverse. I don't know. The book said there's a manual switch, which is an option, which is not on there, but otherwise it said it automatically decided to reverse itself. But he says he don't think that has that either. But if you read the book, it acts like it's automatically does it. But he says he doesn't think it does.
There's kind of both. Like your track components are probably yeah, Imperial.
The motor will be on it.
The motor should be Imperial, yeah.
Now on the track again, like say if we take off 5 miles down the road, you're not worried about the track damage, right?
No.
So we can go place to place with it if we want,
Yeah.
barring we're not damaging the road. Okay.
Yeah. This vehicle is sold as a year-round multi-use vehicle as well. It's configured for trail here.
All right.
All right. So got
Yesterday,
a little diverted, but
when we ran it just for a little bit out here,
uh-huh.
and then turned it off, I mean, there was like a 5-gallon bucket full of corn stalks and stuff that were sucked up from the
Right,
track
you got,
against the radiator.
I've got a note to look and see what the. I mean, if you guys are going to be in that a lot, we'll look at the option of a reverse fan kit. I don't think that it's already wired and everything. It's not. It's an expensive accessory, so I never configure them because most of the guys are running on snow.
So it'll pull
But
the
I'm-
snow and everything up from the track up through the radiator first instead of from the top down then?
I'm sorry, ask me that again. If the snow will come up in there a little bit, yeah.
We didn't know, I guess Kevin's question
We
was,
don't have
we
any
thought
problem
maybe
with
it sucked air from the top and blew it down and out
No,
through the cooler. It brings it up through this.
bringing it up here this way. Bringing cold air in instead of warm air out of it.
Make sure it's warmed up then.
But and Sergeant Donnie already was asking me about it. When it's a common accessory, but it's uncommon in our world because it's we configure it for snow. But the ones that utility companies buy for transportation and whatever, put passenger cabins on the back.
Well, they did check that switch. Somebody-
They would order the reverse fan kit if they're working out in grass and stuff.
So we got to be careful with that and stuff. Don't get sucked
Yeah, I
up in
would
there.
keep an eye on that. If you're running around before you get some snow, you probably want to take a look at it. Make sure you hose it out, keep it clean.
Good Chinese food.
All right, so
Well, if there's snow on the ground,
yeah, you're not gonna have any problem with snow on the ground.
There's loose stalks out here.
Yeah, I understand. I know that. I can. Oh, you could do that. Yeah.
Well, when it snows, yeah, driving around now, we turbo chill.
If it becomes a big aggravation, you might want to try that. And again, I'll let Chris know what the option would cost. Talk to Terry or whatever. If it's something that we think.
Well,
we're
I
gonna
suppose
need.
it depends if other ones you have out, if they don't have it, I doubt if we need it.
Yeah. So this adds a third thing I was going to say. The two things that I would, besides your normal critical fluids and temperatures and stuff, keep an eye on your tracks, your panels, and then the fresh air breather over on the other side. There's a little snorkel on it, and you got a lot of snow and stuff. and just make sure that that's not getting iced up. You can keep an eye on your intake temperature. If it starts to go up, you probably have gotten it iced up a little bit. Not a bad idea to have an extra set of filters in your toolbox. You guys gonna put a toolbox on your
That's
drag,
what I
or-
was gonna ask you, is if you could kind of give us a list of the common tools we should have on here,
Okay.
and then we'll put a toolbox and those tools on the back there. Is this where the engine oil goes in?
And you fill it.
Fuel filter?
That's a fuel filter and it's a water separator.
They're just gonna like what your number
Oil
is.
filter is down.
Always got a tractor plugged in there.
I would imagine cat motor, you're gonna wanna run, what, 200 hours before you change the oil?
Yeah, 250 probably. So, depending on whether you go ahead and we get it dropped at 50 hours like we like to.
So you want us to change it after the first 50?
We like to, and we like to come and do it because that way our tech can go through it and make sure anything is an issue doesn't become an issue at the end of the warranty, and we get a hassle from corporate on it. So, you know, while it's still young, so to speak,
You hear that, boss?
you get anything on the
Where'd he go?
radar. Yeah, Donnie and I talked about it. I think at Dubuque, and we're gonna see what we can do.
50 hours.
My service tech has got a personal
Here he
emergency. He
comes.
lives in Colorado.
There's Mr.
Does
Mechanic.
South America and the Midwest.
Wind his watch.
He must have been busy knocking one off.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to get him out. My guess probably will, because 50 hours, it's typically been towards the end of winter. We get a good start, you guys keep running.
How many hours do we have on that tractor? But most of those ones don't have. Do you have to worry about if you're in snow dust and stuff, is it gonna come up here? and
That's
freeze
what
in
I'm
there?
saying, yeah. This is designed to prevent it. So,
But here, I'm wondering here, in the tubes.
well, that's why I think that you want to keep an eye on your intake temperature and see that. Yeah, if we had a club that was having some issues, we got 4 or 5 others that are not having any problem with it. But this is what engineering came up to help mitigate that. It's a two-stage filter, so it'd be real simple to keep one.
Where do we get those filters?
The number for the filter for your parts is my card will be there. You can call the office number and hit the option for trail groomer, or you can call the office direct, and I can give that. Who would be the one? Donnie? Or Donnie?
Chris Hanley.
Chris just got here. There he is.
Is it a Baldwin filter, or what kind of filter is it?
Ah, jeez, I can't
Does it have to be
remember
bought
what-
through you, or can we?
who our,
Ultra.
well, we're real competitive on our filter prices because we realize you can fetch up.
Is the outside filter, is it a paper type filter? So it's gonna get wet if you get snow in there?
Yeah.
Should it be something we should have a spare
Yeah,
in our
that's right. You
toolbox,
should
and
have a
if
spare
that
in
thing
the
gets
toolbox,
plugged,
for
well,
Is there a website with the parts accessible?
And then there's another one.
Does your website have a parts catalog?
you're not gonna get that at Custom
No,
House.
the parts catalog is on a disc, or a thumb drive that's in with the entertainer.
Oh, okay. Why would your operating temperatures go up if the intake air supply was reduced?
Because they'll be sucking against it. When it gets clogged, it's trying to draw the air, and it gets hot in there from that effort. It'll quit, it'll start blowing black smoke and all kind of fun.
If I just be running really rich, I don't
Yeah.
see how it would run hot.
No, plugged air, it'll make it run hot.
Well, hot too.
Especially these 2.4.
Well, this is tier 3.
Tier 3? Okay.
You don't have to worry about your rig.
Okay.
Yeah, no depth tank. For now.
For now. Oh, you
For
get to
now.
buy that one.
All right, so let's put it down and so the computer screen. So
Can we,
the filters, panels, and in early season, keeping the radiator
There's a pre-filter too. Isn't that what's up here?
This is the pre-filter, the other thing. So we're definitely gonna wanna have you get us some spare
Can we,
Yeah, a lot of the guys work on it. It looks like a toolbox out on the drive. If you put it on the accessory deck, it's fine. The accessory deck will take a lot of weight. It's just that when you have to
run one out and up, you mean? Or just out and up?
has he say anything about how to run the radio?
Get to that.
I don't wanna miss that part.
If you're not using it, keep it all the way up. Keep it up.
Probably won't lock it back
Friday,
down.
next Friday, in the forecast anyway. 30%.
Each one's doing something different.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey Ron, could you open that door?
Hey, he was talking about.
Since we've got a big roof, I don't think, we wanna get up and got the screen stuff. Pumps and motors are Sauer Danfoss, and the final drives are Fairfield. So, you know, get parts and,